talk to us a little bit about your how much footage you had to deal with, and you say you're in the issue ghetto. Was that the correct?
Yes.
You could be in the issue garden as well, but I understand what you mean. And usually those, because you have to be balanced, or kind of try to be balanced, you have a lot of footage to go through. So could you talk about that a little bit, and specifically with this project?
So, of course, we have all of his classes, and each class, you probably noticed all the different angles they shot with 3 or 4 cameras for every class. And he's been, we also did a main interview and then, about 4 pickup interviews with him over the course of it. And then in terms of managing that part of it, I would say the biggest, most useful thing I use is script sync. And for those of you who've only worked in Final Cut, you haven't had this pleasure, but this has really transformed my working life, I would say, as an editor. And I really depend upon it. Is, of course, you transcribe everything, you group everything, and then you use your script sync to be able to do searches for whatever you're looking for. And of course, even though he's in all these classes throughout the year, you can cut back and forth. Nobody notices the costume changes. So I really I had incredible control over what was being said at any given point. But also the challenge of how to distill this really complicated topic into, a 90-minute film. Archivally, I was working with Ken Rabin, who's this great archival researcher who uses something called, has a database that you input it all into. But I also, realistically, the way I organize it is I kind of just, as I decide that I need something, I just jump online and grab it and then have him find me something better later. Because it's sometimes easier than wading through things, or than giving a request to the archival footage researcher and waiting for it to come back. So I jump on, Pond5 or Getty or something like that and grab what I need. And the other thing I thought I would just quickly mention is, because I work in a lot of issue films, I do work with a lot of graphics, which is also something that I think has changed a lot over the course of when I've been editing. And my assistants, I always work with assistants who know After Effects, because the graphics people don't come in until the very end usually. So I work with my assistant to temp out graphics all the time, to try to make things more digestible. So like that graphic that you saw was one that we were temping out months before we talked to any graphics person. And he then, the graphics person takes it to the next level. But so I guess it's that combination of, paper cutting with your scripts via script sync, trying to keep a hold of the archival. That's always a real challenge, but carefully organizing it with your bins, and my assistant also would put together string outs of similar material, that sort of thing. And then trying to simplify it and add graphics.